I'm in Nairobi at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, about to fly for the very first time on Etihad, the other airline of the United Arab Emirates. Now, I flew Emirates Airlines just a few months ago from Africa to Asia, so it's the perfect time for a comparison. Today we're flying the Boeing 787, which makes up the majority of Etihad's fleet. And as I'm about to discover, Etihad is bringing some surprising strengths to the game in the air and on the ground up against its much bigger rival from Dubai.
A very good sign about the service that this airline provides. When I was checking in, or actually just having one of my bags wrapped as I was preparing to check in, the supervisor walked over, found me, and said, "Hey, when you're ready, walk over to the empty slot number 12 on the counter." Now, this must have been because I had already done the Etihad Verified to Fly. I'd already submitted all of my COVID and vaccination documents and entry into the EU QR code by email yesterday. They checked it out last night, sent me a return email, said you are ready to go, which jumped me to the front of the line past about 40 or 50 people.
And as we board the plane, the airline slogan is right there for all to see, from Abu Dhabi to the world. And that's where we're headed this afternoon, to Etihad's global hub, about 4.5 hours north, right next door to Dubai. As folks settle in, let's check out our route today, which takes us northeast from Kenya, over Ethiopia, exiting Africa's south of the tiny country of Djibouti. And check this out. As you enter the Arabian Peninsula, no mention of that other emirate, the one that's got all those tall buildings, the one that's got another big airline. I'm trying to decide if I'm comfortable in this seat. Legroom is more squeezed than on Emirates economy, but still, it's okay. And the multinational crew is energetic and ready to go. Now, just for comparison, let me take you back to that Emirates flight a few months back so you can see this section right behind business class that you can buy into on some Emirates flights. This is on the Boeing 777. Now back to our Etihad flight and its Dreamscape safety video. Well, that's a relief. A sanitized and laundered pillow from Etihad. And let's see what's in the goodie bag. Well, it appears sanitizing is the word of the day. There's all kinds of little sanitizing gels and other things there. Plus, other cleansing of our teeth. Thank you, Colgate. And no goodie bag would be complete without today's iconic symbol. And now if this pandemic would just leave us all alone once and for all. And until COVID goes away, we have a wellness ambassador on board Etihad flights, a crew member trained to answer passengers' questions about C-19. I really like the layout of the on-screen menus on Etihad, which are really designed to simplify your choices and gives you kind of a curated feel to the content. It's not an overwhelming number of things to go through. It is very well organized, and you get a sense that it's manageable, frankly. And when you're on a flight, there's even filters that will help you decide really which genres that you're most interested in. And another item that was fantastic to me was live television, so I tapped into that a little bit as well. Emirates does offer just a feast of movie, television, and music content. The music's coming from all genres, all over the world. It's truly remarkable, yet it can be just an immense amount to deal with and to try to sort through to see what you really want to consume. So I do appreciate a little more streamlined approach you see on Etihad. Another difference you notice is Etihad is a more authentically Emirati airline. It really shares the culture with you, which is terrific, and you can get exposed to music that you might not have heard before, but some of this Arab music is absolutely spectacular. I really encourage you to listen to some of it, but they also have pop, and they've got a whole range of genres available. And for Muslim passengers, there's a very useful guide which you can easily find on screen during the flight. Etihad is much smaller than Emirates. Emirates has 4 times as many aircraft, so you really see this in sub-Saharan Africa, where Etihad only has 2 passenger destinations, Nairobi and the Seychelles. Joburg for cargo, while Emirates has numerous routes into the continent. It's time to eat, and the meal we're served is a light meal with an afternoon flight. It's quite tasty, yet not quite at the level of Emirates, and you get plastic cutlery instead of the real thing over on Emirates. Alcohol is served on Etihad from this discreet black box, and I enjoyed some wine with my meal. Every airline knows how to fuel up a plane and put a competent person up in the cockpit, but not every airline knows how to take care of this. And Emirates does a particularly superb job of keeping the bathrooms sparkling, and it turns out Etihad does too, even on a full flight. Back at my seat, I found this feature to be just fantastic. About 36 major magazines right there on screen. I'm tapping the New Yorker, one of the foremost American magazines. And once you load it up, it's just like you're reading a print copy of the magazine. You just page through it as you normally would and check out the different contents. Great feature on Etihad. I really enjoyed this. And speaking of New York, here is New York University's, NYU's, campus in Abu Dhabi. It's been there for 10 years, has more than 1,600 students from over 100 countries. Do you see the pattern here? Etihad, the airline, really reflects the cultural and the educational aspirations of Abu Dhabi within the United Arab Emirates, and certainly also the design strivings, the beautiful architecture that you can see in Abu Dhabi. And I really look forward to visiting some of these special places during my next trip when I'm not just passing through changing planes. One of the most dazzling new cultural treasures of Abu Dhabi is the branch of the Louvre from Paris that has opened in the Emirate and has just been drawing rave reviews for its design, for the artwork, and just the overall experience. Dubai just wants to wow you, with spectacle, and Abu Dhabi is much more subtle in drawing you into its cultural riches. And I think both of the airlines of these two Emirates really reflect that. 60 years ago, the idea that the sleepy Emirates would become an international air hub, a magnet for business and for leisure travelers from all over the world, let alone home to two major airlines, all of that would have been laughable. Yet visionary leaders and the discovery of oil in 1966 transformed this desert outpost into what is today a true crossroads of the world. Emirates Airlines came to life in the 1980s, followed by Etihad 2 decades later, and both airlines soared on the post-Cold War economic boom that opened huge areas of the world to air travel. And I have to say, Etihad is a worthy competitor to Emirates, a truly pleasant surprise in the air.